Okay, good afternoon, gents. Hope all is well. How are you? How you doing, bud? Stop Hunter, how you doing? Okay. As you can see, I've taken a trade there. Chris, how you doing? Okay, so we had a leg up. We had a break. We had another leg up. Looked like it was going to get up close to this. So we touched a few times there. Touched. When that confirmed, I liked that trade. It almost looked like we had... it was sort of a leg and a leg. Now, I wasn't greedy. I just had I was quite happy to take a point there. I didn't want to sort of get up past here, but I thought, so there was a failure, so we had a new low. Well, it's a matching low, so a recount. So try to go like once, try to go twice, failure. I like the way it turned there, pushed up nice and strong, and there'd have been some shorts trapped in there. So I was just going to take a point, and I thought when it breaks above there, which I was quite confident it was going to do, it would have just hit me, but it was bouncing off my... it was bouncing off my profit, and it did it 3 times. And when it started to come back, I just got out for a couple of ticks. It was strange that I thought that was okay. I thought that was maybe an 8.5 out of 10 trade. I kind of liked it. So, well, there you go. Anyway, I am seeing it as a trading range. Well, it sort of is. But we hit the top there, that triggered and came up and broke out. So I thought, no, then it's more, once it did that, if it wouldn't have got above there, I'd agree with you. But we had that bullish bar, and it bounced twice, and this came down. I thought, that's it. And then it turned, so I stayed in the trade. And then that one up was bouncing, and as it started to come down, I just thought, just get out. I actually think... I don't know. Trading range for me, not really. There is a higher low there, but I'm staying out of that just in case the market is out. But I don't know. I like it. I like it as a channel. I just think maybe the way it is, we're just having a break. Okay, so that higher low worked. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? I sort of get what you're saying as a range, but we've only really touched at the bottom. So we've opened, we've had a couple of legs down, and it just looks like a couple of legs up. So I'm not necessarily thinking about range at the moment. But it looked okay. We had a touch here, we had a touch here, and we sort of bounced and started pushing up and a little bit sideways. And a lot of the times when we're in these channels and it goes sideways, as soon as it hits this side of the channel, when we get a nice solid bullish bar, that's where it usually works. And I thought, let's get my pronunciation correct. I thought that it just confirmed it there. So I thought that it's going to break above there and it's going to do that. But there you go. The trouble is, one thing I will say about trading the ES in such a small time frame, you don't always have a lot of time to think. So sometimes you can take riskier trades that you might not see. You have to make quick decisions. So just sometimes you get it wrong. But I still like that, actually. But it didn't quite. It was bouncing off for points. All I was going to do is I thought I'll grab a point. I liked it. I thought it was more than likely going to go up. But I thought, let's just not be greedy, just get out of the top. I thought it was going to break that for certain, and as soon as it did that, it would give me my point, and then we go. But I got 2 ticks out of it anyway, so it's $25, isn't it? It all helps, doesn't it? But it looks like we're going to make a new high here. So for me, it's still a channel, I think. I kind of like it. We had sort of a couple of legs back and we started working again. And we see that all the time. It'll go sideways, sideways, sideways. And as soon as it gets to the side, and we get a nice big signal bar, a good signal bar. And I thought that was it, to be honest with you. So I got into it. Unfortunately, it tried a bunch of times and then turned. But we'll see anyway. It's one of those things, isn't it? I mean, if we were more sort of intraday trading, you know, you'd have sort of 10 or 15 minutes to think about it, really, wouldn't you? But and weigh up your options, but I'd only been on the charts a few minutes, so it's just the way it went up, it came down and then pushed up and started going sideways, and when that broke above there, I thought, I don't think range now. And then when we had that, it was a failure, shorts trap. As soon as it started to go up, I thought it's trapping them shorts, and I thought when it's going to hit that, it's going to have a quick push. But there you go. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. But I don't mind. You know, I'll take 2 ticks. I will. I've got no problem with that if that's the case. Having said that, now it is starting to look rangy now, but I thought that was going to make a new high there. But there we go. But so, what? Good afternoon. Stop Hunter, good morning. James, afternoon, how you doing? Speedy, how you doing, pal? Nice save that. Yeah, when it came down, I thought that was it. But when it started pushing up, I thought, no, they're pushing that up. And then when that hit again, it was just, but my profit was literally there for a point. And once it started to come down, I just thought, sod it. I'd rather get something. So let's have a look what's going on here. Are we going to trap some longs again? It's hard to say, really, isn't it? We'll see. I'm staying out for a minute anyway. Gather my thoughts. Dean, I find prices behave differently pre-market. I actually think they're a bit more predictable sometimes pre-market. Perhaps that's just the case now and again, but I find sometimes, if you look, sometimes these legs are so damn accurate, which is another reason why I was going there, because I thought we've had a leg up and a pullback. We sort of had a pullback, pushed up again, had another pullback, and then started pushing up strong. So I thought, I may have thought range there, but then when it pushed higher and came back and it pushed higher still, I'm thinking then, okay, I like this. But well, it's one of those things, isn't it? Broken now anyway, yeah, but we shall see. Laufey, I hope I've got that right. Some names are hard for me to say. Laufey, I think that's right. Good morning to you, my friend. I never take pre-market trades anymore. Do you know, I actually don't mind some of them. But in all honesty, I start trading for around about, I come on here around about 25 past 2 in the afternoon, so I get to my chart around about 2. But then I set it up, I check everything, then I run downstairs, make a quick cup of tea. And yeah, I don't do much in the way of pre-market anymore. I just tend to avoid everything apart from my normal 3 hours, sorry. So, yeah, okay. Indy, how are you, mate? How you doing? Kevin, how you doing, Kev? Possible bigger channel from the lows of the day. I may have agreed with you, but now this is a break. Now that's broken. I think it's, yeah. Maybe a spiking channel, but the way this is coming now, I think it may go more rangy, but I don't know. Let's go for a spike in a channel, see if that looks any different. I don't know, maybe not. Nah, I'm not a fan of it. It is starting to look like it's tipping, doesn't it? So we'll see. I got 2 ticks anyway. I got $25 for about 2 minutes work. You tell me anyone who earns $25 for 2 minutes. So I don't mind. I don't mind. So, you know what, I've got to say, since I've reduced my contract size, trading is now feel less stressful. It really does. I thought it might be just a gimmick at the start of it, but I just feel less stressed. I really do. I can take a trade now and just sit here. I kind of almost thought, I'll just let it go, and if it takes me out, it takes me out. I had that sort of approach. I've taken the setup, but then I thought, do you know, I was more concerned about that showing up as a win on my trader sync. So I was more concerned about that than losing the money, which is kind of a good sign in a way. It just means it's not stressing me out as much. And let's face it, 2 losses, you're talking $300 maximum. I still lose that in a trade sometimes. So that looks to me now, yeah, perhaps we have gone a bit rangy. So let's just pop that there. Yeah. That's the trouble, really. Early on, it's hard to say, really, isn't it? You never quite know. Okay, I like that. Touch, 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 touch. Super. Let's clean this up. So I got 2 ticks anyway. I'm proud of that. Okay, so we did have some news. A couple of large bars, but nothing terrible. And we got Powell talking later from 5 o'clock UK time. So probably be done before then. I'm usually done around about 5:30. So we might as well pack up just before that, I'm guessing. It's a bit of an odd time, that 5 o'clock. It's usually 7 o'clock or 3:30 or T15 or but 5 o'clock UK time, that's a bit of an odd time, that is. I like your idea of going for big targets and the right contacts. Yeah, absolutely. It's all about context, mate, for me. It's all about context. If we have if we're in an uptrend and we have a really nice leg up and a perfect 2-leg correction, and then we have a push up and then a nice higher low, that for me, the chance of that making a second leg is high. So my plan will be to try and get maybe 2/3 of it. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. But I will call a good move for me around about 6 points. If I can get 6 points, then I'm quite pleased with that, because that's the equivalent normally for me of three profits from 3 trades. So if we can get that in 1 trade, but context is everything. If we're in a range from here to there, I'll just stick with the standard 2 points, or in some cases maybe even 1.5 points. I've got no problem with a point if that's the case. But context is everything. If the better we get at reading these charts, and you got to agree with me, sometimes they are just so predictable. These legs work just perfectly. We had a day, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, where we had a leg and a leg and a leg and a leg, and then a bigger leg and a bigger, and every one to the nearest tick. You could all literally time it. So if we get days like that, but I've heard Mac say before, the market has different personalities. So it's one of those things, isn't it? Some people, you can be with some people and you've known them for years and you just know how they think, and sometimes you're with a stranger and things are quite new. So, if we get one of those days where things are predictable, I think, and the context is right, you've got to try and take advantage of it. But, if you can get 3 lots of profits from 3 trades in 1 trade, happy days. But, the context has got to be there. But I like that. That's a nice channel. We've had a break, so maybe we get 1 push up and then maybe a second push up. We'll see. But if we are in a range, there is a possibility. Certainly a possibility we can make another leg down here. Hey Clay, how you doing, fella? So, kind of a nice bearish bar there. My only slight concern,
order filled,
is it's a bit congested, but actually I don't think it is. I still kind of like that, but I'm going to get out. Let's just get out for a couple of points, I think. Oh, it's bounced off me. I usually get out there. Let me have a look. Come down a bit more.
Target filled.
Yeah, that point will do me. I like to get out. It's probably going to come down to the leg, but I like to get out before the wicks. I like the trade. We've had sort of 2 pushes up. It is a lower high. That's almost like a hidden second entry short, but it's a lower high. But I think that's okay. Sometimes you don't want to push it, do you? But that's looking positive now. We've got a leg down. We're probably going to make another leg down, but that's a point. I don't mind taking a point. Let me just check. I did take a point. What am I doing? Yeah, 1 point. That'll do. I don't mind. You're a little under the weather. Are you really? That's the one thing about trading you can get away with, can't you? What am I doing? Some jobs. So I call that a lower high. Some jobs you just can't do when you're ill, can you? So it's a lower high. It's not a fantastic setup, but I think it's good enough for a point. Lower high, 1 point. So I've got 1.5 point from 2 trades. There's a failure there. I'm going to say I'm tempted to take that, but that's quite a big bar, and we're already at the bottoms. But yeah, that for me is coming down, I think. So that comfortably made what I would have had anyway, but it went for, yeah, you'd have got 2 points out of that comfortably. There was your 2 points. So that to me is a hidden second entry short. It was an inside bar, so the bar wasn't naff, but then you get a lower high. I do like that bar. My only slight concern is it's a bit congested, which is why I just got out for a point. But that's fine. A point and a half, you know, happy days, $75, isn't it? So my target for a day on one contract would be $100. Anything above that would be fine. $100 a day would give me $2,000 a week per account. And that's pretty good, in my opinion. So it did make a new low, that anyway, so. Yeah, it's coming down, I think. Your price isn't even getting above the EMA at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Quite a lot of attempts, and as soon as we're hitting it, it's pretty much turning down. So I can see us having some more downward stuff. So we got a leg there, and I'd say there's quite likely going to be another leg. I think we're just going to drop in a minute. Once it gets so far, then I think buyers just give up. And when the buyers give up, you've only got sellers left. So there's not a bigger channel here working there. It's just gone too far now. It's definitely more sideways with a stroke of down. Interesting. No, it's either going to push up strong or it's going to trap the longs there. Okay, it's going more sideways. So if it's going sideways, in my opinion, I'd say that is safe. I think it'll come more out the bottom before it hits that. Anything for me that looks quite a solid entry, and I don't think that's a bad entry. Yeah, sometimes it goes sideways, but I think if it's a good entry, that for me would say there's quite a lot of shorts in there. And I think the more shorts in there, I think the safer it is. If you're on your own in there, you're kind of knackered. Yeah, there is news, but it's only medium impact news. Doesn't really play a part so much. Yeah, so that's been safe all the way there. So I'd see this other leg down now. I think if this closes low, I can't see it pushing back in now. It's made multiple attempts to go higher there, and it's just turned down. So it's down for me for that second leg. So I'm going to put that leg back in there. So let's pop that there. It's the long's weak at the moment. They're trying, and at some point they'll just give up and it'll come further down. 1 minute, when you see that, you think, okay, now we're pushing up, and the second it closes, over it goes, down it comes. EMA still facing down. 95% of the bars are under the EMA, with the exception of that one, but it went up and came straight back down. So for me, we're down, but yeah, a little bit of uncertainty there, but I think that's safe. Well, you'd have got your points out there anyway, so if you'd have got in there, say at the midline, yeah, you'd have got 3 points there. A little under the weather, yeah, it's the time of year, isn't it? I know I'm starting to hear COVID starting to work its way around, but I have asthma, so fortunately I get mine early. It's not bad asthma, it's controlled, but I always have a flu jab every year, and my local chemist that does my flu jab just rung me up and said I got a spare COVID jab, so I had both of mine in the one day last week. So, but yeah, it is the time of year when stuff floats around, isn't it? You think it would be the other way around. You know, winter, cold. You know, less people going out, more people stuck at home. You think in the summer there's more people out and about, more people on holiday, more people in planes, you know, more people in airports and, you know, buses and trains. You think there's more people congregate together when the weather gets cold and, you know, a lot more people stay at home. So you think it would spread more in the summer but it seems to just work in the winter, doesn't it? But never quite understood that. Okay, well, they're trying to push it up. I just can't see why that is an attractive place to buy. Maybe failed breakout of the range, but I can't see an attractive place to buy there. We've had that push down. We're clearly slowly working down. Why would you buy there? I mean, obviously, you know, bigger charts make a difference. Maybe it's a 50% pullback from out, but who knows? What do I know? As I say, sometimes these charts, price action is just very predictable. But we had a very choppy day yesterday, didn't we? And it sort of started in the same way. We got a lot of chop here, lots of messy bars. And same here again. Now we're in here, so maybe another day. You know, I'm still thinking down at the moment. We've had a leg down, some sideways. I still think another leg. The best looking short bar in there for me is that one. And that is safe. That's where your stop would be there. So for some reason, whenever I notice it goes sideways, it never seems to come up and get the best looking bar there. Before it eventually drops out and gets, you know, I wouldn't class that as a drop. You know, when it makes its second attempt to go lower, that was just a bit of a failure, but failed breakout. But sorry, Kev, I didn't see that. What do you think about the consistency rule? Let's have an average of 2 points a day. Let's just say catch 8 points. in one day, that might be a problem to wrestle with. Okay, well, that surprised me. Okay, this is my understanding about it. If you make over 30% in one day, 30% of your total pot in one day, they will make you trade longer. Now, it's pretty unusual. So if you're going to withdraw $3,000, let's say, for instance, you're going to withdraw $2,000. So 30%, your best day would literally be like $1,000. So, or I think it's more on your pot size. So I wouldn't worry about it, really. The reason they do that is to catch people out that are trying to go for a big win just to hit a payment. But, if for some reason, you were doing an average of, say, I don't know, $200 to $300 a day, and we happened to get a move down and maybe you took a short here and you got 20, 30 points out of it, that's still your money. All they're going to say is we want you to trade a few more days. So every day you trade, that lump sum gets divided out. So it's not a major issue. And I genuinely think the only way you're really going to get caught out is if you're revenge trading and get lucky, which we've all done. And I've done my fair share of it. Having said that, one of my payments, I think my second payment, I got quite lucky and I got over 30% in one day. And they still paid me. So I wouldn't be concerned about it, really. Worst comes to worst, they'll just make you trade a bit longer, maybe another week or a few more days or something. But your money's still there. You get to keep your money. At the end of the day, if you take an average of 2 points a day and you see a really strong downtrend and you jump in and get 20 points, you'd be an idiot not to take that. And any trader will tell you, sometimes we're going to have days where things just work well. We see a lovely downtrend and a beautiful setup and you're going to think, I'm holding on. You'd be daft not to. So I don't worry about that. Just trade your normal way. But if you're trying to get lucky and win big, and the rest of your days is small, then it's clear you're trying to play things a bit. But I wouldn't be concerned with it. Just trade your normal way. If you get lucky and you get a good day, sometimes sometimes we get lucky. If we get lucky and get 30 points, Apex is not going to take that off you. Otherwise, when you got unlucky and messed up and you lost 30 points, then you'd expect them to pay you, but pay you it back. But no, I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, see if we get this pushed down now. I still think we're going to come down. I was really surprised that broke above there, in all fairness, but usually when we have a leg down and continuation sideways, I think it eventually will drop out the bottom. Obviously, depends on what the context is, but I think we're more ranging at the moment, so yeah, I can't see any type of bigger channel there. Nothing at all, really. I mean, there's a slight possibility if we push up to there and, come back down here and up again. There's a slight possibility, but it is a slight possibility. And the only reason I'm saying that is it kind of is close to sort of tops there, but I don't think so. It's just too early at the moment. My theory for trading range might actually work. How do you mean, bud? Your theory for a trading range. Go on, lay it on me. Spit it out. Let's have a listen. You can't tell me you got a theory and not tell me what it is. Come on, mate. Let's have it. I can almost hear your keyboard going. I said at the beginning we are in a... Oh, right. Yeah. I got you. Yeah. Yeah, you did. You just never know with these days, don't you? But what did we have yesterday? It was generally a down day, but it was still a messy down day, wasn't it? It wasn't clear. And we did have some fair big spikes up as well, didn't we? I mean, it wouldn't be the best looking larger channel there, would it, if you went from there to there? Yeah, it's a bit odd, isn't it? But I don't know, some days we just have odd days, don't we? Yeah, you never know, right, mate? In 1 minute you could be thinking this and then things change. All of a sudden we pushed up now and break out of here, then we're thinking, yeah, okay, maybe there is a bigger channel, but you just never know, do you? Does anybody ever trade any other time frames? Like maybe daily, hourly, 4 hourly, anything like that, just as, a slower trade in the background. So that's how I started trading currency on the hourly and 4 hourly. You just chuck a trade and that's it. Forget about it. Disappear. See, the thing about trading currency is you can trade it night or day. Okay, so let's see what happens here. So we've got a leg down and a break. One attempt to go higher. A second attempt to go higher.
Order submitted.
Okay, I like that. Well, I did.
Order cancelled.
It didn't close anyway, but it was a massive bar. It was 13 ticks, tick above tick, but I'm not taking that. But I think that's going to come down to the bottom. We've got a leg down with a break, 2 pushes down to a new low. We made one attempt to go higher, a second attempt to go higher. That, for me, maybe not the bar now, but if that finish really bearish, I think that's the type of trade the Penguin guy might trade. I'd still expect it to come down to the bottom, but I'm just noticing this pattern more and more. We got a channel down, we had a break, 2 pushes down to a new low, made one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go high. It started to look very bearish at 1 minute, didn't it? But it turned, so maybe not. $13 ticks, tick above, tick below. Yeah, it's a bit. I don't really want to trade that big. But I still think down for some reason. We got a leg down with a break, 2 points to new low. Try to go once, try to go twice, and down. Exactly the same thing as before, and then it turned last minute. Let's see if this holds. Yeah, it's coming down for me. We're coming out the bottom, in my opinion. Maybe for this measured leg. I can certainly see it coming down into the midline for sure. It is. It's a leg down with a break, 2 pushes to a new low. Made one attempt to go higher, a second attempt to go higher, and then down. It's going to crash out the bottom for me in a minute, I think. Yeah, so there's our one push. I'm doing it this way. And there's our second push. It is, isn't it? And then down. Unfortunately, that one, if that finished nice and bearish, I think that one's coming down. Unfortunately for me, that one really needs to be this level or not. But it makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, this Penguin's got something, hasn't he? We've got a channel, we got a break, 2 pushes down to a new low, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, failure, down. So for me, this is coming right down. I'd say at least to the midline, maybe even a measured leg. We've gone sideways. We've made one attempt, second attempt, followed by a really big, strong bearish bar. So that's. I'd put money that's coming down. There we go. So unfortunately, that's the one I looked at first, but then it turned last minute, and then we got that one. I don't know whether Penguin takes that. Has it got to try and be up here? But it just goes to show you can see what's going on, can't you? You know, I clearly saw that. I said it's coming out the bottom, at least to the midline, and what happened? It came straight down. A couple of ticks from that midline, so maybe we retest this. But you can see the pattern. So he's definitely got something, the Penguin guy. He's obviously picked this up by just watching the market, I think, isn't he? He started with Pats. And then sort of found his own way, which makes sense. Leg down break, 2 pushes to a new low, make 2 clear attempts to go higher, failure, and down. So if this closes down here bearish, then another leg which should take us down to here. So if he, I think that would have to be this level there. So where would he take it? Maybe here somewhere. So yeah, maybe there. Okay, so what you've got, he may have bounced it there. Depends where he come in. I still think we're going to have another leg down, but I think for him to take it, I think that bar, mind you, whether it's the same height as that, it's clearly twice the size of that bar. So I don't know, this is a leg, pull back and another leg. So I think that'll get hit for sure. So the more you see these working like this, the more you can predict what's going on. And when you can predict what's going on and you've been doing it long enough, that's why I don't think Max shows us his trades. Because he takes trades that don't follow his rules, but trades that he's seen, you know, moves that he's seen happen year after year. So whether he'd have taken that, I don't know. Whether he'd have come in or not. If he'd have come in a tick higher, then he'd have been out. But my only other slight concern, I took the limit order 14 tick target exit 43.40. So, oh, you're out. My only thing I will say with him, I think a lot of the time he likes to get out before the lows here, doesn't he? So maybe you take that a bit higher. What is it selected? Maybe you take that sort of maybe around about here or something on the limit order possible. I don't know. In which case, yeah, same as you, buddy. They've been out there. So, but it is clear 2 attempts, isn't it? But I can't think how Penguin reacts to bars like that. I don't know whether they've got to be more, you know, a slight spike higher. But I mean, that bar, whichever way you look at it, engulfs it, not literally, but size-wise. You know, if something engulfs it, doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be above and below it. It just needs to be a lot bigger. So I still think we're coming down. So we got a leg down, maybe 2 attempts up again, and then maybe down again. I don't know. I do apologise if I'm waffling a bit today. Some days I have days where I just don't bloody shut up. Yeah, that's my only concern, and whether he take that bar up there. Second entry short. I like that. I'm not taking it though because it's congested, but I think for absolute sure we're coming down. So I think there's 100% 2 points in that, which is there. Yeah. See, it's surprising how accurate you can get this. Why is that not selected? There we go. So yeah, we got this leg down. So we got leg down, break, 2 legs to a new low, 2 attempts higher, failure. It pulled down. We had 2 quick pushes up. Nice big bearish bar for me. That is 100% coming down. It's a second entry short. We got a leg down, 2 attempts higher, second entry short. I should have taken that already, but my only slight issue is it's quite a big bar. But Sometimes I can talk the talk, but when it comes down to taking it, I can't walk the walk. So it's a little bit more than I'd want to go for. But for me, we're coming down for sure. We'll break below here in a minute. We'll probably make that measured leg, I would have said. That I wouldn't have taken. That would have been more the trade I would have taken. My only slight concern, it is a little bit congested, but you know, is it because you get scared of taking the trades? I mean, it's a second entry short. We've had a leg down, 2 attempts to go higher, another big bearish bar, another leg down. Wider channel down, you think? At the moment, we've got a leg down sideways and another leg down, so okay, yeah, I'll go with that. That looks okay. Although technically we've only touched twice, in which case it technically doesn't. But it does look nice at the bottom, and that's important as well. So yeah, maybe. But ultimately we've got a leg down sideways and a leg down. So 3 touches on the bottom. It needs to be on the top though, doesn't it? With Pats, it needs to be 3 touches on the top. If it's a downtrend, 3 touches on the top. Uptrend, 3 touches on the bottom. It's pretty close though, I think, isn't it there? So, I mean, you hear Matt talk about visually, the word visually all the time. It's a visual second entry short. It's a visual failure. It's a visual this. It's a visual that. You know, part of a trend, it's got to fit visually as well. Sometimes it doesn't fit visually, and you can, you know, we do it now and again. We're messing around, constantly changing things, aren't we? Because it doesn't visually look right. And then when you see Mac's chart, he doesn't put a channel there. So there we go. That might be a touch there, but that was certainly worth a couple of points anyway. I did like it, but it's quite a big bar, so I stayed out of it, but it went down. You'd have got 3 points comfortably out of that, maybe 3 1/4. Oh, well, yeah. See if we put that there. Okay. Okay, now I'll tell you what I think. If that is a channel, for me, that won't get stopped out. Okay? If that's a channel, if traders are marking that as a channel, they'll short there. So if that's a channel, that'll come down. If it's not a channel, it'll get stopped up. That's what I think, because bars like that push up and stop, and the next bar goes higher and comes straight back down. Bars like that at the top of a trend channel rarely fail. So let's see what happens, because it still is very much sideways. Okay, so that would have worked anyway, depending on what you did. Yeah, I don't know, someone else back me on this. If we've got a downtrend, I'm pretty sure Mac will go touch, touch, touch. It doesn't pay as much attention to the bottom. But, well, if we didn't, then we have now anyway. So we've got a touch there, touch there, touch there. So that might be a lower high. My only slight concern, it is rangy as well. So that just makes it a little bit more risky. So if that gets stopped out for me, this is more of a range than a channel. If it's a channel, traders will treat it like a channel and it'll turn from there. They'll sell that. These are just my opinions, just things I've experienced and feel. Yeah, so that for me is more sideways. A couple of failed breakouts. In fact, you could probably even take that up to there. Maybe that down to there. Yeah, I like that. Touch twice there, 3 times there, 4. That's just a range. We got a leg down and a range with just a break out the bottom. It's not a channel. Just channel doesn't look right. Yeah, you draw one now, see. Where would you have it? There. It's not a channel, is it? It kind of fits because we come down and go to the side, but you still think it's a channel, do you? Yeah, it's definitely more of a range, really. The trouble is if you get I get what you say. Sometimes 1 minute you think this, next minute you think that. I do it all myself. I always look at these things, but in fact, I'm probably guilty of drawing channels too quick myself, rather. But one thing I always try and keep in mind when I think about it is think about the small moves, because obviously we're only scalping a couple of points on average. Think about the small moves as opposed to constantly, trying to find bigger stuff. If that doesn't fit there, you might drag it out to there, and you might think there. But the trouble is, you're going to be looking for longs there. Whereas if you treat it like that, you might be. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't fantastic, is it? But yeah, it's definitely rangy. But we had the leg down with a break, 2 legs. Try go high once, try go high twice, push down. I like that. And then you got a second entry short, taking us down to the bottoms, well below the bottoms. I did say I expected it to come down to at least the midline, if not down here, and it bounced at that midline. So leg. Is this going to be a failed breakout? I hate picking tops. It's in the middle of no man's land up here, but I would say. I was about to say I would say it probably is a failed breakout, but the bar's a bit naff anyway. But second and short up the top. Yeah, I just have no luck. Whether it's just me, we all have strengths and weaknesses to our trading, and picking tops and bottoms is a real weakness for me. If we touched 3 or 4 times and we had a bar like that with 2 legs, then I may have a go at that. But picking stuff up here, I'm just shit at, in all fairness. I do try and, monitor the situation and just sort of have a rough guesstimate. Okay, let's say I take this. Did it work? And if it does, if I can get it right sort of 8-9 times out of 10, then there is a lower high there. Fell breakout, it's come back in and a lower high. But it is a little bit congested there. So I'm staying out of this. Yeah, 3 bars back to back. If it breaks lower, it may shoot back up and trap shorts. Hit the like button. I can't. Oh, you're about other people. Let's see if this works. I don't even know what hitting the like button actually does. Does it ever make a difference? I don't know. I think all it does, I suppose it does open it up to more people. I don't understand it already. Okay, so the lower high there has come down, but it is stalling here. Okay, so if I was going to take a lower high, maybe that's it. It's not a perfect bar, but would it have made 2 points? It certainly would. Okay. It should increase your visibility through the algos. Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, go on then, hit the like button, why not? Yeah, okay, so it worked nice for sure. That took us right down. Oh, yeah, definitely. Took us right down to the bottoms. Wow. Trouble is, the second I take it, it triggers me and it'll rocket up here like the space shuttle. Trap me. I'm just not. Well, I mean, really. It's just the bar wasn't fantastic anyway, and you weren't going to know it was just going to drop like that. But the lower high then usually is indicator. I mean, normal on trends and that, usually I won't wait for that. I won't take the first one. I'll take the lower high. But it backed up just a little bit there, and you know what Max says, 3 bars back to back, caution. But EMA's a bit flat, slightly upwards, so you just don't know whether it's going to trigger and maybe come up to the tops. At some points, it could come up and retest these tops. I'd expect it to at some point. We've had a breakout the top, which often causes a breakout the other side. Maximilian, you're a new face, I think, aren't you? Where are you from, bud? Have you been here before? I don't think you have you? I think I don't remember that name. Where are you from, mate? Oh, Geneva. Where's that? Switzerland, isn't it? Switzerland? I went through it once years ago on a train. In fact, I got out of the station in Geneva. I think it's Switzerland, isn't it? I went from, where did I go? I took a train. We're going back, 30 years. 31 years. I took a train. Yeah, it is. You've got a big waterfall there, haven't you? I took a train from where I live in Shropshire, Shrewsbury, where most people, well, you probably all have heard of Shrewsbury. It's where Charles Darwin was born, went to school and grew up. I took a train from here to London, from London down to Dover, from Dover over to Ostend, and then I got a train from Ostend through Luxembourg, through Switzerland to Austria, where I spent about 6 weeks in Kitzbühel at a ski resort when I was a young lad. I worked there as a chef doing bits of this and bits of this. But yeah, if you ever get the chance to drive through that area on a train, it's absolutely spectacular. I can't tell you enough. Switzerland is spectacular. The mountains and the lakes, the big lakes with the big turquoise water. It's fantastic. It really is. It was actually, I think if I remember rightly, it took me about 35 hours. But the one thing I noticed most of all is I never spoke to anybody who spoke English for 35 hours, and that is a strange experience when there's lots of people around you, but no one speaks English. Strange Kitzbühel. Yeah, Kitzbühel. Yeah, I was 21, I think, at the time. Spectacular. The train, if you're going to travel to that part of the world, you've got to go by train. It's amazing. It's incredible. Switzerland, all that area, but Switzerland, I think, rung out to me from just the big turquoise lakes. Just fantastic. Oh, absolutely good times, yeah. Absolutely good times. Yeah, I had a face full of spots and young skin. How things change. Yeah, beautiful part of the world, that is. Yeah, if a lot of you US guys ever get over to Europe, places like that you've got to visit. That's another place I remember, yeah. I spent 6 weeks there, and what did I spend 4 weeks there? I spent 4 weeks there, and then I went back. I went to Val d'Isère in France, where I spent about 3 weeks. I was away about 2 months. There was issues with work permits at the time in Kitzbühel, but I worked in it was an English pub. Was it called the British Bar or something? I can't remember. I worked there and I did bits of snow shoveling and stuff like that. But I got my first ever taste of sleeping with a down quilt, a goose down quilt. And I've had one ever since. But yeah, great times, great experience. Young lad, whole life ahead of him. Amazing. Europe's spectacular, it really is. You've been to Prague. Prague I'd love to go to. But there is some fantastic places in Europe. There really is. It's just steep with history. I mean, just within a sort of a small radius, really, within sort of like a 1,000-mile radius, you got places like Prague, you got places like Rome and all that sort of stuff. It's amazing. It really is. Massive party place, yeah, I bet it is. Took back the news now. We took back the news. Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. But yeah, fantastic. So beautiful. Oh, Yeah. Is there lots of lakes in Prague? Is there like a river system running through it? Is it? I think, isn't it? Prague. Beautiful water running through it. I think so. Yeah. That's another reason why I wanted to get into trading, more money to travel. There are places I'd love to go. A river, yeah, famous Brit. That's it, yeah. Isn't Bruges in Prague, is it? Or is Bruges a separate country? I think it is, isn't it? I can't remember. I'm just thinking about that film in Bruges. Anybody see that? That was a film and a half, wasn't it? In Bruges. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, anybody see that in Bruges? That was a film and a half, wasn't it? That was a mind melt, that was. Yeah, unbelievable. Europe is spectacular, actually. It really is. That was really. That was a good film, that was. That was a good film. Yeah, it was a bit of a mind melt, wasn't it? Great film, that was. Colin Farrell, I can't remember the older guy, but brilliant film. Did he have a wee or a poo? That's a great film. Okay, so channel down, we've had a break and a new low, so I got no idea what's going on here. It is a bit choppy at the moment. It's a bit hard to... hence the chit-chat. I don't mind going off topic, I don't. Nothing you can do at the moment, is there? Leg down, break up. I kind of like that bar, but unfortunately it was just one leg up, wasn't it? And if you're going short, you're going into the lows, so that's just maybe a no-no. Yeah, Prague's not. I think my a friend of mine, his wife went to Prague recently. It's not far, I don't think. But I know a lot of people go for sort of party weekends, don't they? What are we doing? Are we coming down? We've almost hit that measured leg bar a tick. In fact, we probably have done, because that's a little bit higher. Okay, so we've hit that measured leg beautifully. So I thought we would at some point. I just didn't envisage that push out. So are we continuing down? You were working in there, were you? Most of the time, company was better. That makes a difference, doesn't it, if your company pays for it? I've never worked for a company that generous. Well, I had a company that paid for us to go to Dublin one weekend. Worst weekend of my life. Worst hangover I've ever had in my life. If you're going to have a hangover, and a bad one, don't have it while you're on a boat. That's a hangover I'll never forget. Started drinking Murphy's, which for you US guys is very similar to Guinness, if you know what it is. It's like a very dark ale. Started drinking that on the boat at 11 o'clock in the morning and finished at 3 o'clock the following morning in the jury's hotel. And I had the worst hangover in my life. I've never been that sick. My head's never banged that much. And then when you got to get on the boat, you're on your hands and knees and yeah. That Irish Sea can be quite choppy. It was bouncing all over the place. What is going on here? Where are you from, bud, anyway? Did you tell me? Oh, of course you did. We just had a bloody conversation, haven't we? Geneva, of course you did. Your brain goes when you get 50. Okay, so we are coming down. Okay, I thought there was a possibility. The way it was sort of bouncing and I thought maybe not, but So it's definitely ranging today. No argument there so far. We got a leg down and a leg down. So that measured move has played out comfortably. So that's just too shallow for a channel, that is. 7 years away from the big. 7 years away from the big. 5008 HP. What's that? Old. I got you. Yeah, I'm 54 now. I'm a young 54 though. So where are we coming down to? There's definitely some congestion around here, so we could get a little bit of sideways here. Let's see if we get a channel down there. Maybe a little bit of a spike on the channel there. Just, Okay, so congestion. So I'd say sideways to this side of the channel. Maybe not. Maybe just straight down. I think we're going to get some sideways. A lot of congestion around here, so I'm going to throw this in just out of curiosity. I'd say somewhere on the line of that. That's what I think. Christ, it's absolutely hammering it down here. And my daughter's on foot from school. She's going to be pissed soaking. I was surprised when I didn't get a phone call, actually. Yeah, a lot of congestion around here, and I expect the same here for a while. I didn't even think we'd have that push down, but maybe we have that push down, and I think he's probably going to have a little bit of sideways before we hit the bottom. So there's an overshoot there, so I think we may get a little push up. So the trouble is, sometimes you never know where we could even bottom here. Actually, we may not go down further than that. Let's just put that there. We'll see. I think that's going to trigger and push up. It's just, it almost seems like a, in fact, is it an overshoot? Or does the channel go like that? I think the channel goes that way. Let's have a look. Oh no, it is a bit of an overshoot. Okay, a little bit of sideways, but nothing nothing quite as dramatic as I was expecting. Okay, so overnight lows usually the target. Yeah, the thing is there's quite a few bottoms here, so trouble is if we bounce, it's where the sellers are going to come in here, isn't it? Let's see. Overshoots often can result in a reversal. And I think that's low enough to have a reversal. We shall see. Yeah, it may not go any lower than that. And the reason I say that is I got the 4,000 tick chart above me, just give me a little bit bigger picture. And that could sort of totally bounce here. It's certainly possible. Trouble is, if it goes up a bit, you're gonna sell that. You want to be selling here and here, really, in the top, not down here. So, I have a sneaky feeling it's not going to go any lower before it pushes up. Yeah, I've called it. Well, the midline. Yeah, often seen you get an overshoot, we get a reversal. And there was an overshoot there, followed by a new low, because we're quite close to the lows here. So I don't think we're going to come back there before we push quite a bit higher now. So if we're ranging, I'd say we're more likely working back up towards the top, I think, probably up a couple of legs and up again. You're on the RCY through, yeah. Yeah, that's close enough, really, actually. Touch T, have a look. Keep an eye on the ES, yeah. Is it really? I think most traders here are ES and NQ, I think. Yeah, there's a bit of support there, and yeah, I thought as much. Bit of an overshoot, pull back, quick drop, overshoot again, and then quite strongly up. So I don't need to put anything down there. I know where my lows of the day or the overnight lows are. Okay, so we've got a leg down. We've made one attempt to go higher. If we make a second attempt to go higher, and that's bearish, then I'll think about we may retest this bottom or possibly this level down here. See what happens. Okay, leg down, 1 push up, 2 push up. So maybe we are pushing up, or maybe we're just going to have 2 attempts to move higher, and then maybe we are coming down some more. We'll see what happens. So we've got leg down, 1 attempt to go higher, 2nd attempt to go higher. Let's see, there is a possibility that that's not an overshoot. It fits, yeah. Ooh. Do I really want to go short that low?
Order submitted.
Oh, it's too big for me, that. 14 ticks, tick above, tick below, 16 ticks. No, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested going short
Order
that
canceled.
close to these bottoms. It may work, but it's a big risk. The trouble is, sometimes you can get trapped there. That's what I mean. I think that's low enough. I mean, ordinarily, you have a leg down that, we have a break. Ordinarily, you'd make a new extreme, which is a new low in this case. Trading pat strategy. So we've had a break. It might not be an overshoot. It touches twice there as well. We've had a break with a lower high. I think it's too. I think that's come low enough. So my opinion is that's going to get stopped out, which is why I've decided to leave it. One, it's a big bar, but I think that's. So there's a second entry long triggered. So there could be just trap sitting here, but I think that's going to get stopped out. And maybe, I dare say there's going to be a few traders in there. So if it breaks above there, we may get a little spike. We'll see. Yeah, thought as much. Yeah, the trouble is I've taken shorts like that before, because ordinarily you have a channel down, we have a break and a lower high like that. Ordinarily, you jump all over that. It engulfs about the last 5 bars, so that would normally be a great short. But as far as I'm concerned, we've come down to the bottom. It might not be the low of the day, but to me, it's close enough to the bottom for traders to consider that the bottom of the range for me. Yeah, it's not the low of the day, but it doesn't really matter. So I thought that was going to get traded. So it is a second entry short. It's a lovely big bearish bar. Ordinarily, you'd expect that to work, but my thoughts were it was going to trigger and stop out. So there we go. So I bet there'll be some traders got stung there. So 2 options now. We go sideways down the bottom. Or we push back up. That is a possibility. Yeah, that just had trap written all over it. This is low enough for me. I'm not saying it's not going to come down, but if it comes down most of the way, you know, I won't be thinking about a new extreme. So there was a second entry long there, which worked for, I'd certainly say a few points. Comfortably, you'd have had 3.5 points there if you'd have taken that. Trap them. We certainly could retest this now. We've had a push up, we've had a break, and we've had another strong push up and a rejection again. Excuse me, so we could. I wouldn't be surprised if you retest these bottoms. Excuse me, just a second, I've got a quick phone call. Yeah, sorry about that. Unfortunately, I can't ignore the wife more than my life's worth. So yeah, clearly ranging. It may just be one of those days, but let's see. So we've had this leg down. We've made 2 attempts. Yeah, there is a possibility we could, but I'd say we're definitely moving up. So you could say we've had a leg down. We've had a break at a new low. Made 1 attempt, maybe to make another attempt to go lower. Okay, what time is it? 3:45 UK time. So we got that news in around about an hour and 15 minutes. It's Powell talking, so it may not have a lot of bearing. It depends on what he says and when he says it, but what I'll probably do is pack in before then anyway. We'll see what happens. Once we get sort of 1:45, 15-20 minutes before the news, we'll see what happens, and then we may just knock it on the head from there. So yeah, it is slowly teetering up, but I think it's possible we could test these lows again. It may even break them, but if we're in a range and we've come down to this level, I think it's more likely that we're going to continue on up. So whether we come down and retest this first, you never know. Could come down, smash through the bottom and start working down. You never know. But okay, possible second entry long. Okay, it's gone naff anyway, but it's just clearly congested around that midline, so it could just chop you up here. It could trigger you, stop you out. So there's probably going to be a bunch of traps. Well, Christmas is well and truly on its way. I drove through my local town today. Christmas decorations have gone up already, so there's no going back now. What is it, 67 days? Something like that. In fact, I traded through Christmas break last year, if I remember rightly. I did all right. In fact, I think the 27th I had a $1,300 day, if I remember rightly. Yeah, $1,000 day. Oh, where's that go? Yeah, Where's it gone? Well, $1,000 day, I think $1,015. I thought Christmas was a good time to trade, actually, a few days after Christmas. Okay, I think we may get out the top here. There's probably going to be some stops above here. Okay, boring when it does this. Triple top. Yeah. I'm just not a fan of picking tops. It's a pretty big bar as well, isn't it? Wow. Clearly worked. It moved quick as well, so that's what, 3.5 point risk. Tick above, tick below. Yeah, so that wouldn't have been a bad trade. As I say, I don't generally pick tops. Let's see if we're going to retest this bottom. I just sometimes when we have a triple test, it tanks. Let's see what happens here. Often, so we've had a break. We've made 1, 2, 3 attempts to go higher, and it's obviously failed by that drop. So let's see if it recovers or whether it continues on down. You always short those and missed it. It did move pretty quick, if I remember rightly, didn't it? That triggered that and then came back down. Yeah, if you didn't get in it, it'd be on its way down before. That's the trouble sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes they'll move that quick. The only way to get into those trades sometimes is just hit the sell button. Trouble is, if by the time you reach for that sell button, it could be halfway into this next lot down here, couldn't it? So making your risk quite a chunk. Showing lag. Charts missing 3 or 4 bars. You know, I'd look into your computer, I would, because that can make a big difference as well on your speed of your computer. What chip have you got in your computer? What microchip have you got? Your computers can make a big difference. I noticed the difference when I was trading. I started trading on an older Mac with Windows installed, and when I built this new computer, everything worked so much quicker, the lag went. And sometimes lag as well. Okay, sometimes lag. What's your graphics card? If you got more than one chart at a time. Windows 10, yeah. Sometimes if you've got more than one chart, it depends on you. See, a lot of people neglect graphics card as traders, but you try opening 2 of these charts up. 2 GB NVIDIA, yeah, it's it's not a good one. Well, I say it's not good. It's not a very strong one. Sometimes people neglect graphics cards, but someone I had this conversation going on with a Ninja Trader maybe a year and a half ago. That they said graphics card, it takes a lot of graphics up. This does. So I've moved up to mine's an NVIDIA, is it RTX 2060, which is 8 gigabytes, and that makes a hell of a difference. So if you have more than one window open, that can cause lag. So yeah, people think speedy chip and your RAM's okay, but graphics makes a difference with Ninja Trader. It's quite graphics rich. It soon sucks it up. I don't know anyone else's experience of that. But I just had, what did I have in this? I forget where it is now. I'll find it actually, just out of curiosity. Just give me a second. Yeah, this is what I had. It was an Asus NVIDIA GeForce GT70, 2 gigabytes memory, and it was naff. To be fair, I had loads of lag when I opened more than one chart. It was awful. From Ninja Trader website, 2 gigahertz, quad core 60, 10 SSD hard drive. Yeah, or faster quad core 64 gig processor. DirectX 10 compatible graphics card. Yeah, mine was 2 gigabytes. Asus NVIDIA GeForce GT 710, 2 gigabytes of memory, and I bought it because it had 4 HDMI slots on the back, obviously for multiple. And it's a very basic bog standard one, but Ninja Trader is quite rich when it comes to using graphics, especially if you've got one other chart above you as well. It made a difference. If I've got one chart, it wasn't too bad, although I did get lag. But when I had the 10,000 tick chart above me, massive difference. But I never get lag now. Good time to buy graphics cards as well now, because obviously with the price of electrics, have you updated the drivers? Yeah. Graphics cards are a lot cheaper at the moment because the price of electrics generally gone up. People used to just snap them up for mining, but it's just not profitable mining at the moment. I looked into it myself because obviously the price of electric's gone up, and you have to take that into consideration. So the prices really dropped with graphics cards. So it's a good time to buy them. I think they're about 40% cheaper. Task Manager, yeah. Obviously check your Task Manager as well. Check what you got running. But trust me, 2 gigabytes isn't a lot. And if you've got multiple charts on it, you will notice lag. Get rid of that second chart, you'll probably notice a difference. But another thing to go on as well, just out of curiosity, is go on to, where is it? This is really interesting. This is called user benchmark, and it'll test your computer, and it'll give you a rating of what your computer is. User benchmark, it tests all your hardware within your computer. In fact, I'll tell you what, I did mine a couple of weeks ago, and I think mine came out a nuclear sub, which was one off from the top. I think mine 2 years ago. GPU 38. Yeah, they're cheap at the moment. 3060s are really cheap. Mine for about a year till it wasn't. Yeah, so the prices have really dropped. So it's a great time. 20 CPU, GPU 6 to 12. Yeah. Trust me though, it made a huge difference upgrading my graphics card. 2 gigabyte isn't a lot. But yeah, GPUs are really cheap at the moment. Obviously because electric's gone up. But if you do get one, just make sure it's compatible with your motherboard. Yeah, see, if you look at the RTX 3060 at the moment, going back, I would say a year or so, I looked at that was close to £500, and at the moment it's £269. That's so cheap. But look at the price of them; they've just massively come down. But I would say if you're going to get one with 8 gigabytes or more. 8 gigabytes is a good benchmark. Page 7. Yeah, absolutely. Look how much cheaper they are now. 4060, 299. Yeah, but because of the price of electric's gone up, it's just not profitable anymore. I don't know what that one's about, but yeah, RTX 4060, 8 gig 200. You don't need to pay a lot. You probably get these cheaper in the US as well. We get a 3060, 12 gigabytes. It's plenty, that is. You know, they're so much cheaper. It's just not, there's just no money in mine anymore. But yeah, you will notice a difference. It was night and day for me, night and day. I found I had bars missing. It just looked weird sometimes. Sometimes it would stop and then move. And someone told me to look at your GPU, so I did a little bit of research, and a couple of people said it uses quite a bit of GPU power, NinjaTrade, especially if you have more than one chart open. And when I upgraded, it was just night and day. Okay, so we still haven't come down and broken these lows yet. A remote session, open app, quick assist. Do a remote session. I'm not 100% sure what you mean there, mate. I'm assuming you're talking to. You're not talking to me, are you? But I was recommended that from. I tell you what, if you go onto the Apex site, there are videos that yeah, I thought so. There are videos that Daryl Martin's made about equipment to trade with. But if you're not sure how powerful your machine is, you could do this. In fact, I'll do it now quickly and I'll drag it in and show you what I mean. I've just opened user benchmark and it's just testing my system at the moment above my head. So when it's done, I'll drag it in and I'll show you what you mean. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, this is what I'm doing at the moment. It's just checking you can see mine, the RTX 2060. It just tests through all your, let's make it a bit smaller so you can see what's going on. I'll go smaller now, let's drag out of the way. Just test your system and it'll give you a rating at the end of it. So do this just out of, Daryl Martin tells you to do this, so it's just called user benchmark and it checks your whole system and then gives you a rating. Takes a couple of minutes, I think. Now, 55%. Nothing I do at the moment, it's just going sideways, really. I did look at that. It's a secondary short stroke lower high, but it's just up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's just, I'm not prepared to trade anything there. No, that's fair enough. Not everyone wants to do that. No, that's fair enough. just do a little bit of research, bud, into go on a couple of the Apex Facebook groups and just mention there. Just say you've got a 2 GB graphics card and you're having a lot of problems with lag. Do you think it could be the graphics card? Just get some more feedback. Once you've heard it from half a dozen people, the same thing, it's pretty much might help you make your minds up. But for me, it was when I opened a second screen, a second chart. Okay, here come my results. So, okay, now this is my system here. Let me just make it a bit smaller. And it gives you a rating. So at the moment, gaming is a battleship. My desktop is a nuclear sub. So, and then if you scroll down, it gives you scores. So there's my particular chip. It's performing excellent. Obviously gives you prices as well. There's my graphics card. That's very good. My RAM, outstanding. My DDR4, excellent. And what it does is it gives you this rating and it shows you... Where does it show you the other ratings? Okay, here we go. This is where it rates you, pits you up against other... So mine comes up a nuclear sub, so that's about as good as you can get. Mine's a nuclear sub. And I remember Daryl Martin said, if you end up having a sailboat or a raft or something down here, then your computer's pretty much not powerful enough. But just go through that. Just go onto the website and have a check. But if yours is coming out down here, it's just a good indicator of how powerful yours is. Mine's a nuclear sub, so more than ample. If you're up the top here, you're okay, but once you start getting the middle or below, but it takes all your bits and pieces, all your hardware into just normal desktop or workstation are perfectly fine. Gaming 75%, that's ample. Do you have to install that? I don't think so. I have got the app. I have got the little icon on my screen, but just go to it and just search it. But when you go through it, then just click the little question mark here, and it shows you where you are. So mine was, what was I? So nuclear sub was about my best as a general desktop unit. So nuclear sub 96%. I'm well over halfway between there and there, but. I remember Daryl Martin was talking about this when we was talking about trading computers, and some people had a raft in a tree trunk. So if you're down here, because if you're taking trading seriously and you start to trade with P accounts, it can cost you money potentially. So you have a canoe. But no. Also, if you look on Apex's website, you can find his video where he talks about trading computers, but it is interesting because, but I decided to build one. It was just a challenge for me. I'd never done it before, and I really enjoyed it actually. And what was most shocking of all is that when I plugged it all in, it worked. I'm not the best DIYer in the world, but I think I had about 6 double single malt scotches when I was building it, and then I plugged in the end and everything worked beautifully, which was the shocker of a lifetime. But yeah, it does make a difference. Computers do make a difference. You need your aircraft carrier. Yeah, computers do make a difference. It needs to be able to process this quick and and all that sort of stuff. I'm not a real tech guy, but I watched Daryl Martin's video, so just watch his video about it. And there's all sorts on there about trading computers. Just don't forget. Yeah. But yeah, when I had a second chart, when I started putting that 10,000 tick chart, I noticed a difference with lag on my 2 GB. So, but yeah, it's just interesting to do that. Just a bit of fun when you're bored. still have music, do I? Let's have a look. Ah, right, okay, I've still got that up. Okay, let's get rid of it. Okay, that should sort the problem out. Is that gone, is it? Yeah, it would have done now. We haven't checked Max yet, have we? Let's see if Max got something for us. Yes. Okay, let's see what our lead has got for us. Okay. Yeah, Max finished here. He's pretty much got the same. Yeah, he's got a bigger channel there, Mac has. I'll bring on a second. So he's gone from there to light. He's gone from there. Sometimes Mac has some odd setups. From there to there, he's got strange. Drag it in. Yeah, it's odd that. I don't know why he's done that, but I don't know. But yeah, he's just got a big range. He's got that there. No downward channel there, that there, and then just he's packed up here. Yeah, for freaking tree trunk. But yeah, I mean, if you've got, you know, lower end computers like that, it can generally make a difference. See, the last thing on my mind was when I built a trading PC was a graphics card, because I thought, well, I'm just going to be looking at bars, aren't I? But it's surprising, it makes a difference, especially to some bits of software. And I know I've read a couple of times and a couple of people have told me that Ninja Trader does use quite a lot of graphics power. So yeah, it's quite interesting to do, actually. But yeah, if you click where it tells you what you are, if you click the little question mark there, it tells you what, you know, where you pit against everyone else. This is starting to be a really frustrating day, isn't it? We've had a what's that? So say from 2:30 to 3:30, we got an hour of chop there. Best part of an hour of chop there. This news is coming up in 45 minutes, so it's Powell, Fed Chair Powell speaks. So I'm assuming it's going to be sitting through 30 minutes of chit chat. Trouble is, when you get some news, it sort of affects things immediately, but it depends on what he says. So I do wonder whether we're just going to continue to do that for the next 45 minutes. Trouble is, you trade that, you're just going to get chopped up. Tree trunk. I was quite surprised mine was quite as show. It didn't cost a lot of money, mine. Mind you, I did it. I think my initial cost was about £900, something like that. But that was with a cheaper graphics card. And then I think my graphics card at the time was about £330. 2060, you can get two models up for cheaper than that nowadays. But the only thing I've done as well is upgraded from 16 gig to 32 gig. I just bought good quality parts. That's what I wanted to do. I just got a good quality motherboard, chip, good quality DDR RAM, and a good quality hard drive. SSDs, I think mine's the ME2, something like that. That's one of the biggest things that have that sped computers up over the last few years. The introduction of SSDs, and they're cheapest chips at the moment. Okay, so we still haven't broke that. Mine cost nothing on eBay laptop. I put 16 gig from 8 yesterday. Fastest tree trunk in the land. Yeah, see, I'm not technical enough to know exactly why things don't, things can go slow, but I suppose part of it is down to internet speed as well. I mean, I recently upgraded to 1 gigabit, so I think at the moment My speed previous to this, going back 3 months ago, it was the upload speed. The upload speed for me. See, I on YouTube now, I can stream. Let's have a look in ultra low latency. I used to have normal latency because obviously the upload speed makes a difference. But my upload speed was about between 11 and 13 gigabytes per second, which is sort of horrendous, really. But there's a massive difference now. I'll show you. I think my download speed was around about 39, say 40 megabits per second. So at the moment, my download speed is 20 times what it used to be. In fact, a little bit more. That's my download. It used to be 40 megabits per second, so that's gone up by 20 times. And the rest. And the upload speed used to be between 11 and 13 gigabytes. And obviously that's made an even more of a dramatic. So there's a huge difference there. I suppose it goes without saying it's got to make a difference. You know, the data's got to come from the servers somewhere. It obviously shoots all over the world, and I suppose fractions of a second can make a difference. But no, I started trading on an older Mac, I think it was a 10-year-old Mac Pro. I just installed Windows on it and bought two separate cheap monitors. Yeah, you can't do nothing with this. You may have taken that one. You'd have got 2 points out of it. I did look at it. Yeah, you'd have scraped 2 points there. Okay, so we got our lows of the days here, or overnight lows. Let's see if we get down here. Yeah. Is it going to hold though? Yeah, we're still held on that previous line. So we got a touch there. 2 touches there. Touch there, touch there. So, I don't know, who knows? When it goes sideways, you never know. It did look like it started to dip, but sometimes it'll do that and then just rock it up. We could have a leg down and a leg down. It's possible. If we had that, that would take us somewhere around about down here somewhere. 43.10 sort of area. But up until now, we've been going sideways, so. And that news comes out in around about 40 minutes. Done at 8 rule. Did you get the YouTube clip I emailed you? No. Did you get the YouTube clip I emailed you? When did you email it? Let me have a look. Not as yet. When did you email it? I'll send it again. A few days ago. Sometimes I have a bigger thing. See, I've got all of those emails. I get these all the time from companies, marketing managers, stuff like that, offering you get all sorts of stuff. Yeah, when you're a streamer, you get offered all sorts of stuff. Most of it's not relevant to what you're doing, so I don't even entertain it really. I had someone a couple of months ago offering me $400 a month to advertise something on this, but they wanted me to play 2 30-second clips. Well, that's just going to bore the arse out of people who's not going to use it. So it doesn't interest me. The only things I use is the things I got down here, which is TraderSync. I've just started using it. Replicanto, Float, the trade copy, as you know, I use, and Apex. You get offered stuff all the time, but I'm not going to get started. There's just no point. It's just going to bore the arse off people. So you get offered stuff all the time, but most of it's just irrelevant to what I'm not going to start advertising something for a new sheep shearing clippers on a bloody on a what's it site. So this isn't to make money. I didn't do this to make money. The YouTube stuff. This is purely for me to make myself accountable and just to connect up with other traders. But you get all sorts of weird and wonderful emails and stuff. I do wonder whether we may. Let's have a look. It's probably a bit early yet, in all fairness, but there is a possibility we could have a leg, some sideways, touch, and maybe another leg down. Once we get below these, it may just start to drop if it is a channel down. But we've got this news pending, so just gonna have to let it go and just keep an eye on it. You sent it yet, have you? A few days ago. What was it? Sometimes I read stuff and forget I've read it. Clips, were they? I might have done. Look. I'll know if you send it again. Trader. Yes, at hotmail.com. That's old. I've had that for ages. That's what we use in the UK, Hotmail. You guys, are you all Google, are you? Or something like that? Yeah, we're old school over here, and we invented this shit, So you guys still call them cell phones? Who calls them cell phones now? Oh, you Gmail, are you? Yeah, cell phones. No, they're mobiles to us. They used to be called cellular phones, didn't they, years ago? So you still call glasses eyeglasses. We just know they go on your face, so we just call them glasses. Are you Gmail now? I got you. Yeah, Hotmail I use. We do use Gmail as well, I think. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I know you are now. Yeah. I can't remember what it was. You sent it, actually. Yeah, you did email it, didn't you? I'd have watched it and deleted it. I mean, I would have done. Oh, I know you are now. I know you are. Go on, then. What was it? It remind me. There was two of them, or was there two of them or three of them? I can't remember now. Funny one. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I do chat to you from time to time, don't I? Yeah, if anyone wants to email me or message me or whatever you want to do, I don't mind. I get messages all the time. It's part of the reason why I did this YouTube thing, to connect up with other traders. I love talking to traders all over the world. Someone told me when I first started trading, mix with people you want to be like. In other words, other traders, people who've got the same interest, but I love talking about trading, but you try talking to your wife about it. It's a quick, fine way of putting someone asleep. where now. I'll know when I see him. Won't come to me. You sure you emailed it, not messaged me? Oh, look. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. My wife just came in, pestering me. Still not come through. Have a look. Junk. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Top one or bottom one? Let me have a look.
Well, a habit is a redundant set of automatic, unconscious thoughts, behaviors, and emotions that's acquired through repetition. A habit is when you've done something so many times.
What's the next one?
Well, a habit is a redundant set of automatic, unconscious thoughts, behaviors, and emotions that's acquired through repetition. A habit is when you've done something so many times that your body now knows how to do it better than your mind. So if you think about it, people wake up in the morning,
17 minutes. You don't watch 17 minutes.
They begin to think about their problems. Those problems are circuits of memories in the brain. Each one of those memories are connected
I'll
to
drag it in for a sec, just so you can see what it is. Just read what it is.
And if the brain is a record of the past, the moment they start their day, they're already thinking in the past. Each one of those memories has an emotion.
Anyway.
Emotions are the end product of past experiences.
There it is.
So the moment they recall those memories of their problems, they all of a sudden feel unhappy, they feel sad, they feel pain.
I'll look at that after.
Now, how you think and how you feel creates your state of being. So the person's entire state of being, when
what time is it? Okay, news is in 30 minutes. I just wonder, this has got to be because of the news, isn't it? It's got to be. What do you think about Andrew Tate? Andrew Tate. That doesn't ring any bells, that, mate. Let me have a look. On YouTube, is he? What is it? What is that? Is that in there? Is it the guy at the top? Bad times are coming. Is that the one you're on about, Kev? Is it? Yeah. What is he? It's all right. I can't hear nothing. That's the trouble when I got there. You guys can hear things. I can't. What is it? NVM that video? What do you mean, NVM that video? If you don't know him, you won't get it. Oh, I got you. But it becomes a mind, yeah. Oh, okay. All right. I do listen to all sorts of stuff on YouTube, actually. Different bits of... I've gone to bed listening to them, different wave sounds that vibrate in your brain that are supposed to, change... I don't know how well they work or not. There's all sorts of stuff out there. I'll tell you one thing I have started. What we do at the moment, not a lot. I'll tell you one thing I have started listening to. I like this guy. Trader affirmations. Where is it? I think that's the one, is it or not? No, it isn't. Where's the one this one here. This one, I'll have a quick listen to this for a minute. Big bearish bar at the top, I'm doing nothing. Have a listen to that for a second. No, it's not long, what is it, a few minutes? I'll leave it on for a second. I'm assuming you can hear that, can't you? You can't hear it now? Hold on. Is there no volume to it? Volume's off. Okay, volume's off. All right, you'll be able to hear it now. I'll drag it to the side of it so people can see the charts.
This is your conscience. Today I'm going to share something with you that I put together for myself a very long time ago. If you don't believe in tapping into the mind, meditation, or the benefits of affirmations, or if your trading has no room left for improvement, please thumbs down this video and close it immediately. For those of you who are struggling with discipline, self-control, managing your emotions, please put on some headphones and enjoy.
Assuming you can hear that, yeah?
You are a disciplined trader. You are in control and focused at all times. You are calm and patient. You are humble and respect the markets. Tread cautiously, but with confidence. Cocky degenerates are part of the 90%. You are part of the 10%. Sit on your hands and snipe with a kill shot. Be selective for that one good trade. The markets move slow. Don't jump the gun. Your job is to react, not to predict.
Okay, I'll stop it there. I just wanted you to have a quick little glimpse of it. But, bear bull traders. I like listening to stuff like that because it sort of keys you
are your own boss.
I'll knock it off now, but...
Would you fire yourself for trading this way?
Something like that.
Day trading is a serious business. This is a dream job with unlimited potential. Would you rather work in a cubicle?
Well thought, that mate.
Be mindful.
But
never
I like
listening
to. I've started listening to stuff like that because it can help you. It's sort of, like, I don't know, if you're going into a boxing match or something like that, you got your man in the corners, giving you some mental inspiration and geeing you up. And I think sometimes it can help prepare you. So I've started listening to stuff like that. I have done a little in the past, but not consistently. So it just tries to help you feel positive, realise that there's a bigger goal ahead and a bigger picture. So I kind of like that, and I like him as well. He's recorded it quite well, so it comes out nice, and you have it in your earphones, and it comes out quite well. Started reading. Let me take a photo of that. Cash rules. Reminiscence of day trading. Pretty insane. I like listening to all sorts of stuff out. Sometimes someone will have a certain voice, and I'll think I like listening to that. And you have his book, dear. Excellent. I am listening to Best Loser Wins at the moment, but I keep falling asleep at night. Okay, I took a photo of that. Let's have a look at this. What time is it? Okay, so we're running out of time. Okay, so we didn't break the low of the day. We had a damn good go, and now we pushed up. So definitely looks like a range day. So we've got a leg up. Maybe another leg up, or we've had a double top at the midline. So I'm just going to exercise some caution going looking for a long here. There is quite a bit of support along there. You can sort of see it. So you can see it there, there, and there. So this news is about 40 minutes as well. Now, I don't expect a massive spike anyway. Obviously, he's talking, so it won't be that type of news. But, depending on what he does say, quite likely have an effect on price. So I'm going to probably knock it on the head in the next 10 minutes. So touch. We've hit that midline twice, so a bit cautious here. There's obviously a possibility that it could just be a failed break out of this range. We're clearly sideways in. We had a leg down, sideways and a leg down. So it's clearly clearly ranging. So it's certainly feasible that it will get up there, but I think you've got to take into consideration that it also could come back into the range. So sometimes going long it can get you in trouble. And obviously with this news pending, it could just come back in there and continue sideways. Let's hit that midline 3 times. Okay, now we're above it. Oh, well, there you go. Okay, so maybe we are continuing up. If that does continue, I think the chance of it coming back in here then is a lot slimmer. See how that finishes. Maybe a spike in channel. Let's have a look at that. Okay, yeah, maybe a bit of a spike with a channel. That kind of fits okay. Unfortunately, no real setup. Going long above there is just risky anyway. You're not to know it's going to do that. So a possible second leg up could get us up to the top. It's possible. Obviously that news is pending, so I dare say when we get up to this level here, which is the official open, it's probably going to find a little bit of resistance. So but we've got that news coming up in just over 15 minutes. It's probably going to be sort of slow released, but probably don't want to be in a trade while it's doing that, because it may just go a bit sideways, so you just don't know. In fact, I think I'm going to knock it on the head actually for the day. There's nothing here at the moment. It's inching up, but there's nothing really interests me at the moment. We've used that midline as resistance now it's support, so it's probably going to go up a bit more. It might slowly mosey on up, but I don't know. So I'm going to have an early day today. As I say, the news is coming up in 15 minutes, so I've got a 1.5 today, which is not a huge amount, but it's green. That's all I'm concerned with. Some days you have a bit quieter, but there has been a lot of chop. We had about an hour of that, best part of an hour of that. So you can't really trade that. It's pretty hard to trade. So there's about an hour from there to there, probably something similar there. But it's a lot of chop today, so it's pretty hard going. There's not a huge amount of setups. As I say, the only one, well, I don't know, it's only one leg down, I'm going to say, but we're bouncing along that bottom. That might not have been a terrible trade to take. And then maybe the break out there, but the bar wasn't fantastic. I kind of like we had a leg down break, and then we had sort of multiple pushes. That was another one I looked at, one push up, two push up, but the bar wasn't very good, but it did come down to the bottom. Failing that, there's not a huge amount of setups around really. It is still respected in that line up there, so it may continue on up, but unfortunately there's no real setup there, no setup there. Like an old lady in a TV show. Lancing them all on Nut. He's alright, Nut, actually. He's a nice guy. I like him, actually. I was having a chat with him yesterday on this stream. In fact, he made me a moderator. That's a proud moment. I actually got a real job. But he's alright, actually. He's a nice lad. He's a nice lad. So, yeah, I'm going to knock it on the air, folks. There's nothing there. We're moving now. We've got this news approaching, so I don't really want to be in a trade during the news, but clearly a range day today. It's been a while since we've spent a chunk of the day going sideways, so obviously depends what he says, whether the news is positive. I know in the UK our interest rate is static at 6.7%, so I don't know what he's going to say, something economical, I dare say, so it might have I don't know what it's going to impact or what, I don't know. Gotta go. I like the mediation from the trading coach you share while. See you later. A while back. Oh, yeah, she's okay, actually, she is. Yeah, Creeder. Yeah. I do listen to her now and again. Yeah. So, right, that's me done for today. News pending, so I'm not going to get in now anyway, so clearly a range day. But I got a 1.5, so green's green, so that'll do for me. So, Friday tomorrow, another week nearly done, so I'll be back again same time tomorrow, just before the market officially opens, and then we will do it all again. So I appreciate your comments. We've had a nice chatter today because we spent such a lot of time going sideways, so there we go. We are getting a slow grind up, or a reasonably nice grind up now, but unfortunately no real entry there. It's hard to take that really. We've got a big stem there and we're in the middle of no man's land, so it could break at any time. But news pending, so that'll do for me. Early day. So if you're carrying on trading, hope you get something. You take it easy, Kev. And I'll be back here same time tomorrow. So stay safe, have a great evening, and we'll talk again same time tomorrow. Bye for now.